Hello everyone, my name is Samaya Rahman and I'm the Public Health Programme Officer in the Maternity and Early Years team at the London Borough of Tower Hamlets. In today's training, I'll be giving an overview of the National Healthy Start Scheme and how it works in practice. The purpose of today's training is to equip frontline professionals with the knowledge and confidence to support eligible pregnant women and families with children under 4 to access the Healthy Start Scheme. The objectives are to explain the Healthy Start Scheme and its role in improving maternal and child nutrition, to identify who is eligible and what families can access through the scheme, and finally, support families confidently by guiding them through the application process and promoting uptake. What is Healthy Start? The Healthy Start Scheme is a national programme that provides financial support for families to buy healthy foods such as fresh fruit, vegetables, milk and staples like beans. Families receiving certain benefits are eligible during pregnancy or with children under 4. In 2022, the scheme moved from paper vouchers to a digital card, which works just like a regular debit card. The second part of the programme is Healthy Start Vitamins. There is a separate training video with more detail on this, but in summary, Tower Hamlets offers free vitamins universally to eligible groups, including women planning a pregnancy, otherwise known as preconception, pregnant women, women up to 1 year post-birth, breastfeeding women, and families with children aged 0 to 4 years. Healthy Start vitamins can be collected from a range of local settings, including Best Start family hubs, children and family centres, and at antenatal appointments at the Royal London Hospital. Why Healthy Start matters. Healthy Start acts as a nutritional safety net for families on low income. It gives them consistent access to essentials like fruit, vegetables, and milk, things that can otherwise be difficult to afford. Research has shown that the programme helps pregnant women and young children access healthier foods they might otherwise go without. Parents said it allowed them to buy a wider variety of fresh foods so children could try new things. Importantly, Healthy Start doesn't just provide food, it also encourages families to think more about their diet and make healthier choices. Women registered to the scheme reported that it made them reflect on their health and nutrition, which led to better dietary decisions. So overall, Healthy Start is more than financial support. It's a programme that improves access to healthy foods, supports maternal and child nutrition, and helps families build healthier habits. This section gives a quick overview of what families receive through Healthy Start, the weekly allowance for each eligible group, the types of foods they can buy with the card, and an example of how the allowance can be used in a typical food shop. The weekly card allowance. Healthy Start entitlements will increase by 40p per week from April 2026. Payments will rise to £4.65 per week for pregnant women from 10 weeks gestation and for children aged 1 to 4 years, and from £9.30 per week for babies under 1. This increase follows national calls to raise the weekly amount so it better reflects the cost of healthy foods and milk for low-income families. Under the previous entitlement, families could receive around £1,200 per child if they claimed from the 10th week of pregnancy until the child's 4th birthday. With the uplift, the total lifetime value will be higher. Families with more than one eligible child are pregnant and have young children can claim the full entitlement for each child. What can families buy? Families can use their Healthy Start card to buy a range of eligible items, including fresh or long-life cow's milk, fruit and vegetables, fresh, frozen or tinned, and tinned or dried beans and pulses. They can also use it to purchase infant formula as long as it is based on cow's milk. The scheme does not cover follow-on or toddler milks, nor specialist formulas. More information is available on the National Healthy Start webpage. An example food shop. These examples show what families might buy with different levels of Healthy Start entitlement using Aldi online prices from January 2026 as a guide. For a family receiving the minimum entitlement, which is £4.65 per week, the allowance can cover a small selection of fruits, vegetables, milk and pulses, enough to support a varied mix of healthy basics for a young child. For a family receiving the full entitlement, which is £13.95 per week, the weekly amount stretches further, allowing them to buy a wider range of fresh, frozen and tinned produce, pulses and milk. This helps support a more varied and nutritious diet for infants and young children. These are illustrative examples. Every family's needs differ, but they show how the Healthy Start increase from April 2026 can help families access nutritious foods to give children the best start in life. In this section, we'll look at why Healthy Start is so important in Tower Hamlets, focusing on the borough's high level of need, current uptake of the scheme, and some of the key challenges families face in accessing it. Why Tower Hamlets needs Healthy Start. Healthy Start is particularly important here in Tower Hamlets because we face some of the highest rates of childhood poverty in the country. That means many more families are living with food insecurity compared to other areas. The current cost of living crisis is adding even more pressure, making it harder for families to afford essentials and putting a real strain on household budgets. We also know that eating a healthy, balanced diet has a direct impact on weight and oral health. Unfortunately, children in Tower Hamlets experience some of the highest rates of childhood obesity and tooth decay nationally. In fact, obesity rates here are the fourth highest in the country. That's why Healthy Start is so vital. It provides families with access to healthier foods and vitamins, helping to ease food insecurity and support better nutrition. Ultimately, it's about giving local children the best possible start in life. Healthy Start uptake in Tower Hamlets. Before the scheme went digital, uptake was strong. Over 70% of eligible families were using Healthy Start. When the switch to the digital card first happened, uptake dropped sharply to around 58%. That was a big setback. In recent years, there has been an issue with the source data used to calculate uptake. Therefore, number of eligible people for the scheme and uptake percentage has been removed by the NHS. Therefore, it is difficult to determine current uptake percentages in Tower Hamlets, and if we look at the most recent data available, it suggests 15% fewer families using Healthy Start compared to where we were before digitalisation. Given the ongoing cost of living crisis, every bit of support matters. Healthy Start is a lifeline, and it's vital that we all play a role in encouraging families to sign up. So with regards to the challenges, I want to give a bit of context about why this update is so important and highlight some of the ongoing issues we're facing. As many of you know, when the scheme moved to the digital card, uptake dropped significantly. Although we've seen some recovery, the changes had a lasting impact. And if we look at the national barriers, families report that the online form sometimes doesn't work. Some have been caught out by the universal credit income cap, and others have struggled because their name doesn't exactly match their benefits paperwork. And if we look at the local barriers in Tower Hamlets, the digital access remains a real challenge. The eligibility criteria is complicated, and when you combine that with limited access to technology and language barriers, it becomes very difficult for families to navigate. Another challenge is phone access. Families often need a phone with credit to call the helpline, but the number is a toll line, which creates extra costs and makes it harder to get support. Despite our promotional efforts, many families still don't fully understand what Healthy Start is or whether they're eligible. And in Tower Hamlets specifically, a big issue is that many residents shop in local markets, but most stores don't accept cards, meaning families can't use their Healthy Start card there. So as a result, we're seeing that based off the recent data that's available, more than 4 in 10 families are missing out on Healthy Start in Tower Hamlets. And our role is that we know that many of these issues are outside of our control, but what we can do is make sure our workforce is knowledgeable and confident so we can help families in Tower Hamlets navigate these barriers and get the support that they're entitled to. This section gives an overview of how families can access the Healthy Start scheme. I'll briefly outline the application process, including who needs to apply online and who must apply by phone or email. I'll also touch on eligibility for no recourse to public funds, and finally highlight where families can get support if they have any difficulties with registering. To apply for Healthy Start, families need to use the online application on the Healthy Start website. Their personal details must match their benefit paperwork, especially names, or the application may not go through. The process is usually quick, and once the card arrives, it must be activated by calling the helpline. It's important to note that the helpline is not a free phone number. The Healthy Start scheme moved from paper vouchers to a digital card in March 2022, with funds added automatically each month. Families can check their balance at cash machines, but can't withdraw cash, use the card for part payments, and shop anywhere that sells fruit, vegetables, or milk and accepts card payments. People can apply online if they get universal credit and are at least 10 weeks pregnant or have a child under 4, with monthly take-home pay of £408 or less. They can also apply online if they get child tax credit, have a child under 4, and their annual income is below £16,190, and they don't receive working tax credit. These eligibility rules haven't changed in years, which is challenging given the rising living costs. Who must phone or email? Some people can't apply online and must use the phone or email route instead. This includes anyone more than 10 weeks pregnant or with a child under 4 who receives income support, job seekers allowance, or pension credit, which includes child addition. Young people under 18 who aren't on benefits or who get income-related employment and support allowance also need to apply this way. And if someone gets child tax credit, is over 10 weeks pregnant, and their other children are over 4, they must apply by phone or email. So when we look at eligibility for non-British citizens, parents without British citizenship may still qualify for Healthy Start if their child is a British citizen under 4 and their monthly earnings are below £408. These families need to apply by emailing to request an application form. If a child is a British citizen and has at least one parent who is British, or if they're born in the UK to a parent who has indefinite leave to remain or settled status, they can apply. Single parents with no recourse to public funds who have sole custody of a British child under 4 can also apply, provided the other parent with British citizenship is not claiming public funds for that child. For more information on Healthy Start eligibility, check the Healthy Start website. There is also a consultation looking at extending eligibility to all children under 4, so in future the scheme may apply regardless of the citizenship status of the child or the parents. But for now, it's important to note that parents should only email if it is confirmed that the family cannot claim public funds. Where to direct families for support. Families can get help with Healthy Start from a range of places. The Healthy Start website is useful for those who can access and navigate it, as it explains eligibility and what's needed to apply. Families can also visit children and family centres or Best Start family hubs, where staff can support them with applications. And the same support is available in idea stores. Social prescribers, midwives, and health visitors may also be able to help. For anyone needing more one-to-one support, our resident support team can be contacted by email. Who else can help? If families run into problems while applying, they can contact Healthy Start by phone or email. The website also has a helpful frequently asked questions section, and if someone doesn't know their national insurance number, they can retrieve it through the government website. This last section looks at the role professionals can play in supporting families through their Healthy Start journey, including using your networks to promote the program and making every contact count. Following today's session, we hope you will feel more confident discussing the Healthy Start scheme with both families and colleagues, including who is eligible and how the application process works. You may be able to support families to complete the online application, activate their card, or direct them to appropriate services if they are unsure how to proceed. We also encourage you to share our promotional materials and training resources to help increase awareness of the scheme and strengthen the network of professionals who can support families to register. A key takeaway is the importance of spreading the word and helping at least one family to sign up to Healthy Start. We hope this is an achievable next step in increasing uptake of the scheme within Tower Hamlets. Thank you for attending the training session today.